I'm going to go with, I'm going to say the E and I'm going to say Greneway. Now, I told you, Greneway. I'm going to know that's it. number 2, Dylan Chard. That is Blacon High.
Well, I'll be honest, I can't hear anything. My ears are just ringing. Is it my turn?
You're up.
Okay, I'm up. So, Greenway score on the field. This is your roster. Give each and every one a huge cheer. Your goalkeeper, number 1, Alex Moss. Player 2, Ross Gardner. Player 3, Zach Juja.
Good afternoon and welcome to our final of the PlayStation Schools Cup Festival here in association with the ESFA. It's the Under-13 Small Schools Cup Final. Greenway School up against Blacon High School. Greenway School starting 11, Alex Moss in goal. Number 2 is Ross Gardner. Number 3, Zach Janeja. 4, Archie Mashman Brown. 5 is Emre Kosak. 6 is Rory Rees. 7, Adam McCormack. 8, Tom Finch. 9 is Fanushan Safis. Sam Lynn is number 10 and Will Blair 11. Rob Dowler is the manager. As for Blacon High School, Kona Ward O'Neill is 1. Dylan Chard is 2. Havi Shannon 3. Lewis Hopley is 4. Lewis Ball 5. 6 is Jack Swinley. 7 Thomas Harrison. 8 Jaden Stark Rigby. 9 Gerard Amond. 10 Leo Evans and 11 Harvey Nicholson. David Forbes is the manager. Substitute list, Greenway, just the 3 on the bench today. Ben Thrower, James Wright and Charlie Crook. And Blacon with the full 5, Tom Dean, Sam Rigby, Riley Ashford Poole, Dan Ward and Kieran Ord. Well, 14 finals out of the way. And here we are for final number 15. I'm pleased to say Mr. John Scales has joined me for this final match. He didn't go home early. He's got a very busy life these days. Dogs to walk, kids to look after, but he's decided to stay for this final match. He's got 2 competitions to award and a man of the match as well, so busy old life.
Plenty to do. Looking forward to this final game. Can't believe the 3 days are up. It's been a superb festival of football here at Medeski Stadium, PlayStation Schools Cup. 15 finals. Superb games, and that's demonstrated by the quality of the goals we've seen, the saves we've had, the drama. We've had some great officiating. Thank you to all the officials, to the crew and everybody. The work that we've gone on. Hopefully people have enjoyed the coverage.
It's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And it's been lovely to see, not just thousands, tens of thousands have been watching these webcasts. They may have been watching it on mute, of course, but they've been watching them and really enjoying them, having a really getting into the field. So it's quite unusual to feel that we're in a stadium that's mainly empty, of course, with just a few hundred fans that have come from the different schools for the day. Of course, it's a bad time of the year with school exams and everything, so schools tend to not want to open the doors. There's offside there. They tend to not want to open the doors for everybody to come along. But amazing to think that the far stand, which probably holds about 10,000, actually is full of people who are all watching the screens all around the country. Here's the bench for Greenway. We've it was interesting chat. I don't know if you heard the interview with Des Little we just did down there.
No.
He said he's been quite exhausted after those 2 games, and
very
very proud of his team he was after the way they carried on, staying true to themselves. And we'll just watch this for a second as Greenway come forward. Here's an opportunity. Goalkeeper does superbly. Oh my goodness, that talk about breaking up a move. That was the last thing you expected, and now Greenway again. They've gone for the shot and the keeper saves at the near post. I'm already liking his keeper. He's no nonsense.
Well, Tom Finch, I'm sure, felt that he was going to score here. Off his line brilliantly, clears the ball away. I think it was Dylan Chard as well, was helping him out. And the number 2 back there, he did some superb work. And then Tom Finch, I think he thinks he's going to score. I think that 20, 30 seconds or so, the keeper, Connor Ward O'Neill, has covered himself in glory.
Did very well there. We didn't see the previous incident, but that was very freaky. He came in like a centre. You didn't expect him to be outside the box, and you could see there was a bit of danger. And thought, well, I'm going to go and sort that out, and he just piled in there. So nice to see somebody with the confidence to do that, and he looks like one who doesn't wear out the line very often. He seems to spend more of his time outside the 6-yard box than inside. Not a bad thing sometimes.
No, it's not.
Well, that's a feisty start. Also nice to see Des Little, I was just mentioning, running up the line when the team were trying to drench him with water and they couldn't catch him.
Couldn't they? He's still moving well, was he?
So he's still moving, he's still got it.
Steve Kember might not had Whitgift one, been able to get away from them.
Yeah.
But
I went past some of them Whitgift players and there was some very exhausted lads there. I think.
Well, they played yesterday,
second
didn't they?
game.
Played again today. Yeah. Absolutely shattered.
I didn't get to speak to any of the coaches because we're obviously a little bit behind time, and I think I'm pretty much sure what Steve and Colin would have said, that another day would have been a little bit of a different game perhaps. Here's Will Blair, the captain, and that's a good tackle there from Lewis Hopley.
Excellent defensive work. Physical little shove maybe, but that's the game. A great ball in over the top.
Wonderful ball. This is, of course, this is the first year that these lads will have played on the full-size pitch. They've been on the small pitches before. I'm just remarking as well, there's a few very tall players out there. Number 8, number 10. There's some, if I was looking at these, I'd have said, well, maybe under 14, under 15 perhaps, but not under 13.
Yeah, centre half. He looks like Lewis Ball. He's another one.
Yeah. Well, it has been. We've really had a great time here. It's almost a shame when it comes to. It's almost a bit of an anticlimax. You must have that in some of the big matches you played, John, where you're sort of all building up to it, and suddenly the game's over. It's like, what do we do now?
Yeah. Well, it's end of the season. That's the sort of anticlimax. It's suddenly you get through Christmas, you're heading towards Easter, and then bang! Suddenly the season's finished, and you.
Yeah.
As much as there's a sort of relief that you've got through the season, there's also the dread and the fear that you haven't got that many weeks until you come back for pre-season training, and you're thinking, oh God, I've got to run up those hills again. And I didn't miss pre-season, I've got to be honest.
It was tough with Wimbledon. I remember Harry Bassett having people doing army training and stuff like that. Did they still do it under Bobby Gold?
Yeah, we went to army camps. We went to the fjords of Norway and some of those pre-season tours. You'd have to go on these ridiculous games against pretty poor opposition, I've got to be honest, but to get there, why on earth we had to get on a ferry, go across a field, get a coach for 3 hours, get another ferry, end up in the middle of absolutely nowhere, play a game, win about 12-0, and you think, well, surely, what's that going to do for us?
What's the point of that?
What on earth is that doing for us?
There's some psychology in there, isn't there? Don Howe was involved at Wimbledon for a fair bit as well, wasn't he? And there's some sort of psychology of it. It's all about the journey, not the actual achievement. I don't know.
Something
some
like
amateur psychologist.
Oh, good play. There. Lovely wing play.
Yes, Greenway have
Did
certainly
he get a touch there?
well.
He can.
Oh, here's a chance. Oh, keeper does superb again. Way off his line is Conan Ward O'Neill. I've got a feeling this lad's going to be a central character in this match.
Well, he already is.
Yes.
That's three saves. Kept the score at 0-0. But for that's brilliant. From Adam McCormack, goes past. Then look at the little run. Look at the ball. Lovely weighted pass. Touch there away. He can't go in. He wants to tackle. He knows he'd draw the foul and possibly get a booking, get sent off.
Yeah. Safi's very good strike, but the keeper, again, well out of his box, really closing that angle down. And Safis again, looks like a real dangerous customer up front. Funishan Safis, and here's now a break on the right-hand side. Keeper decides to stay back. McCormack is going to go through on goal, and again, the goalkeeper saves. Well, we've only got 7 minutes on the clock, and that's the fourth save that Conan Ward O'Neill has pulled off. Connor, actually, I'm just having a look, yes.
Offside.
That's offside.
Only by about 3-4 metres.
Yes, no VAR needed on that one.
No.
So Kona, Ward O'Neill.
Lovely touch there. Return pass. He's having a little look up into the box. And then he thinks, hang on a second, I might take it on myself. He does well, Connor.
Yes, I think it's Connor. I think I've got to go for Connor.
Sorry, yeah.
It's always difficult, of course. We don't get the time to just check name pronunciations out there, but
Clive does.
Yeah, he has somebody answering his emails while he's away, probably. Yeah. 50 of them waiting for me today. Wondering why they haven't had a reply from this morning.
Yeah.
The world of digital world we're in. There's a lovely ball down the wing.
Touch across him.
Blair goes down, and the referee says that's a foul. Well, it looked like a coming together. I'd like to see this again.
Yeah, as Lewis Hopley gets across, got the benefit of the doubt in a couple of earlier exchanges. This time he's unfairly brought him down. I just felt Will, he's got the better of him. He recovers well, Lewis Hopley, but get across him there, and then there's just a coming together really of the feet. He's got his right leg across. He's caught his Achilles, it's a little bit sore, but not too much in it.
No, that's a harsh one to give, really. Both players just stood on each other, and one went down. But
well, I think he's got to give it, because I think Will Blair is away. There is a coming together. Impossible for the referee to know otherwise.
Good
the
angle
referee
here.
was running the line, wasn't in the earlier game.
Good spot. Here's a good angle from our mobile cameras. Finch just side foots, but straight down the goalkeeper's throat, and Tom Finch perhaps is a short goalkeeper, is Ward O'Neill, and I just wonder whether there was a little trying to put a bit of height in that one. Here's a counter-attack now. Leo Evans trying to go alone, just running into too many players, and then fouls the defender.
I mean, he's getting a little bit further and further out from the box on those goal kicks. He's got to be careful if that official over that far side gets a bit pernickety. He was probably a metre outside the box when he kicked that, was he?
Safis out wide, McCormack.
And plenty of space here. Picked up by Amond.
Here's Lewis Hopley. Good kick from Ward O'Neill. That's a very good kick.
A little shove in the back.
This is a big pitch these kids are playing on.
Harvey Nicholson. Yeah, it is.
12-year-old kids out there. Well, must admit, it's they're making the pitch look a little bit smaller than usual for under 13 competition. Greenway with a free kick, looking to go over the top.
Good header.
Dylan Chard, the captain, clears it away. Shannon gives it away there though, and now here's a chance for Sam Lynn.
It was a vital interception by Harry Shannon.
Greenway certainly been on top in this first 12 minutes. Four shots on goal, 4 saves from a Blacon goalkeeper. Cleared. Happy to clear their lines there from Thomas Harrison, yes.
Just be careful here. There's numbers forward.
Yes, Blacon pushing hard.
Yep.
Bit of height there from Leo Evans. Is a tall player for 12-year-old.
Forward from Jaden Stark-Rigby. He's just holding there in front of the back four. Just the sort of pivotal player. Here he is just challenging again. They come away with the ball Greenway.
Referee says play on there. And a free kick as that ball's played through.
Oh, he saw it, spotted it. Tom Finch. I think it was Will Blair on that far side. Sorry, Adam McCormack on that far side. It was free. This is Will Blair.
Out to Hopley.
Keeps
the ball in well.
Will Blair. That's evening things up a bit.
Well, just looking at the past results here for, first of all, Greenway School. Round 1 they had a bye. In round 2 it was a 10-1 home victory against Henlow Church of England Academy. Round 3 it was an 8-1 win against Alban Academy. Round 4 they had an away victory over Iceni Academy by 6-0. In round 5 a home victory against St John Senior School by 6-0 also. So scoring a lot, conceding none. Another 6-0 win, the third 6-0 in a row in the quarter-final away at Buxwood School. Nice little 224-mile trip for them there. And then in the semi-final, well, another 6 goals. This crew do score goals. A 6-1 away victory at Cranbourne Middle School and another 292-mile journey.
Yeah, what happened there? McCormack not playing? Scored in every other round?
Yes, he didn't score there, did he? But Safi scored a hat-trick. And it is, well, Blair has 11 goals to his name. From a little bit earlier on, he scored, or he helped himself to 4 goals in both rounds 2 and 3. So he scored early on, didn't score so many later on down the line, but Safi's, who we've already seen is a danger for Greenway, scoring plenty there. So 42 goals for and 3 goals against. And we're seeing that on the pitch here today. As for Blacon, well, they've similar sort of pattern. Round 2 was an 8-2 home victory against Pensby High School. Round 3 was a 4-3 victory over Earlham and Cadishead College. Round 4 was a 4-2 victory over Maghur High School. Round 5, all these matches at home actually for Blacon. Round 5 was 4-all after full time and extra time, and it was 4-2 on penalties, a victory over Walton Primary Middle School. Quarter final, another home match against South Nottinghamshire Academy and a 2-0 victory. And then, how can you believe it? 7 rounds, 7 home matches. You know, it's like getting 7 blacks in a row on the roulette table, isn't it? And Blacon High School had a 4-1 victory in the semi-final against Newminster Middle School. I bet that pitch is absolutely bare.
Yeah. Well, we've just got Archie Massman-Brown off the pitch at the moment. Charlie Crook is warmed up and ready to replace him if needed. I think he's going to rejoin the action. I think they're just trying to get him back on again.
Safi's onto the end of this. Oh, and Ward O'Neill, well, offside.
Yes.
The linesman decides to give offside. Yes, false alarm, everybody. Rewind that record. And the referee's just explaining to him, saying, look, you know, you were offside. The linesman was playing on because he thought the goalie was going to pick it up.
Well, they didn't need Archie Massman-Brown on the pitch. Down to 10 men for a moment. Just here, the ball gets pumped up.
Yeah, well offside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great ball into the number 10, the leading goal scorer, Leo Evans, who's scored 18 goals as Leo Evans out of the 26. What a record that is.
Yeah.
We had on with Livy McLaughlin a couple of days ago, 26 out of 31. Well, this is a similar percentage, 18 out of 26. So, and you can see he's a very tall young man, Actually, he's got a centre half who's about a similar height to him, so it's a tall man's game in that area of the pitch. But Evans has possibly met his match here. He might have to go to a plan B. You can imagine, at this age group, he's faced a lot of defenders who've been a lot shorter than him, but on this occasion, the number 6, and Massman Brown's back on, by the way, Rory Rees is similar height and build. Greenway looking as if they're just on top really in this match so far. Haven't got the goal yet, but they've threatened.
Yeah, Southey's doing really well. This goes out. Lewis Hopley can't do much about that.
Yeah.
Just trying to get some injection of pace into this game. He's got it. Bring some anxiety to that back line of Blacon High.
So Connor Ward O'Neill there, just he does seem to be quite an unorthodox goalkeeper, and okay, he got away with that last one. There's another offside, but now it's through to the goalkeeper. But interesting example there where really should have just caught the ball. He was inside the box, decided to try and do something a bit clever, miscontrolled it, and got away with it. But that is always your sort of well, you would be behind David James. You were in front of David James, and he had a bit of a tendency sometimes to do a little bit of an unusual thing, didn't he? He got himself a nasty nickname from the tabloids.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
They never saw the amazing saves he pulled out the top corners that most other keepers would not have managed to reach.
Yeah, absolutely, he was a top class goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
It was just on those rare occasions when he would just suddenly go walkabouts in the box, do something odd, have a rush of blood, and that was his problem. It was just those moments where he thought it was a great idea to suddenly come hurtling out in a situation where it wasn't required, or just maybe show off some skills that, again, no goalkeeper needs to ever attempt.
Leave those on the training ground for your mates, for your colleagues, yeah.
Couldn't resist it, could he?
Did he used to play out in training?
Yeah, of course.
Most goalies do,
most
didn't
goalies do, of
It's
course.
boring in goal. Why standing goals in training?
Well, it's funny because every goalkeeper wants to come out in training, and every outfield player wants to go in goal and put the gloves on.
just in case they get that chance of being a hero.
Yeah.
I always had the opinion that, why go in goals and have people blasting the ball at you, because you're playing in smaller goals typically from no distance at all.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn anything. You might as well just have a good run around and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Leo Evans trying to get on the ball there. Gets the touch. Got players around him.
Good tackle.
From Kokach.
Yeah,
offside again. He's got to look at this line. Southey's really does, and I think it's Adam McCormack alongside him as well. Southey's, it's fine to be on the shoulder, but if you're on that sort of diagonal, me there, what am I doing up there?
Yeah.
Got to look along the line.
Yeah,
just hold your run.
Yeah, he's been caught offside many times here. Ward O'Neill, he's got a good kick on him. Trying to find Evans up front. Nicholson. Evans again, he's definitely the target man every time. There's no doubt it's the long ball to Evans is the style for Blacon.
Oh, it is,
that's got them here.
Rory Evans has done well at the back there, number 6 for Greenway. Got a big lad.
Will Blair, the captain. That's a lovely ball, and this time he's this time he's onside. No, he isn't. McCormack thought he'd managed to just time his run perfectly. It looked very close. He's getting closer and closer every time, and one of these moments he will time it perfectly. Dangerous game. Blacon are playing with this very high line. Cue a high ball to Evans now here from Ward O'Neill. One's gone over everybody. Not cleared very well. A little bit of panic stations there. Zach Janeja to clear it away with his wrong foot.
Oh, and it's lovely play, isn't it, from Tom Finch?
Yeah. Now McCormack, orange and yellow boots, brightening up the dusk here. Ooh, players were onside there. That was almost a perfect ball through. Oh, he's managed to push the player aside. The keeper's getting himself involved as well. Well, it's very unorthodox. I don't think there's many goalkeepers that would have been out in that situation and would have waited to see what happened, but Ward O'Neill wants to be very much part of this game. Here's Evans, gets the ball at feet at last. He's got two on him. A very isolated figure at the moment. There's Leo Evans. Got a little bit of support now. Thomas Harrison, number 7. And Blacon will get the throw.
Well, it's a really good battle. Leo Evans against Rory Rees. I think much of this game is going to depend on who comes out on top in that little battle between the two of them. It's funny, isn't it? They're playing a high line, Blacon High School, but it just takes that one moment, one timing of the run just to get it right. Right on the shoulder of the defenders. And they're always looking for the space behind.
Yes, that was a foul. So the final chapter of the PlayStation Schools Cup 2018 been written before us in this under-13 Small Schools Cup final. The small schools is for schools that have 65 or less boys in their year. So basically 2 classes. Because of course a lot of schools have many more within a year. Here's Evans. Evans gets a chance, and that was going in. And that's a really important foot out there from the number 5, Emre Kosak. I don't think the keeper was going to save this one. And Kosak does superbly here, sticking the foot out, and I think he saves a goal here.
He comes back, and that's the space he's been looking for. They've been so close to each other for so long. Rory Rees and Evans. That time Rees gets the header away.
Jack Swindley with the corner. Nice step over. A little move there, I think, from Blacon. I think they've done that one before. But the third man in was being marked, so didn't work out as well as they'd hoped. And that's one they've practiced in the training pitch, and they've done a few times before. Greenway. Safi's putting a bit of pressure on. Ward O'Neill. Nice play with the left foot. And out to Hopley. Hopley goes long for Evans again. Evans flicks onto himself. He's actually got a fair bit of support around him, so the attacking midfielder pushing up, looking for the seconds off Evans. Here's Stark Rigby. He's looking to go through himself there. Solid tackle in the end. That was Massman Brown. And now McCormack on the run, and Ward O'Neill making a sprint.
Where's he going?
He's got to stop himself. He was going for that. He's got to be careful. There's no way on this planet you're going to get anywhere near. Here's the break in. Here's Safi's. And Ward O'Neill is out very, very sharply indeed. That, you know, it's that sort of goalkeeping I really love, because he's anticipating the only thing that could have happened.
All the time he's looking, waiting, helping out his defenders.
Yeah.
They'll be very grateful for that.
Massman Brown, good ball across. McCormack, Safi's has got a chance here if he times his run. McCormack goes alone. It's going to be a one-on-one here up against Ward O'Neill. Ward O'Neill stands up and just parries the ball away. Brilliant play from the goalkeeper again. Just stands up, makes himself look big, and a corner is given away.
That's probably 6 saves.
Well, we haven't had a goalkeeper's man of the match, have we, in 14 matches?
Skips
So
away,
maybe.
McCormack. Bears down on goal, and he just stands tall, stands big.
Yeah.
Love the sort of arrogance of him to say, "You're right, go on then. You're not going to beat me." And it must at some point get into the heads of players. I know it does.
I think this is a goalkeeper that has played a lot of football in goal, and he's getting involved. He's coming out for that cross. He saw that his defence was in a bit of trouble. And an offside there. I think this goalkeeper, he's one of the. There's always a personality that comes out, and we saw Vay from the first minute, and the way he just stood up, knowing that the pressure was on McCormack, it almost belies his years. This is a 12-year-old here.
Yeah, it's just total confidence in his ability.
Yeah. And he's got a good kick.
Yeah, he has. He strikes it well with his left foot, doesn't he?
A lot of goalies would be like not too happy having to put one out there, and he's going to reach the halfway line. He's got no problem here. All the facets of a good number one. Here's McCormack again.
You have to get back. Dylan Chard. Great kick again.
Ward O'Neill definitely holding things up at the back for Blacon, and now here's an opportunity. A little pullback. Referee lets it go. Looks to find Evans. Evans asks for a handball there. He's sure it hit the arm. I think Blacon probably the first team we've seen that are playing consistent long balls up to the big man up front, which is, it's a very valid tactic. Obviously, you played at Wimbledon, you know it's a very valid tactic, and sometimes a lot of people that maybe don't play football will belittle the tactic and say, oh, it's just because you've run out of ideas and just hoof it. But it is a way of playing the game. And Safis is onside here, and so's McCormack on the overlap. McCormack through, one to beat, comes inside on his weaker left foot, and has scored! Oh, managed to curl it around. Well, he's certainly right-footed. He wasn't comfortable coming in on his left.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I think he wasn't comfortable at all, and he sort of thought about it a bit more. Thought, am I going to hit this with my left foot? I don't know. Much more comfortable on my right. I've cut inside, but what do I do now? There it is. Should I? Go on, I'll give it a swing. And it just shows you the value of getting your head down over the ball, swinging the foot, getting through the ball. That was technically perfect. Not a lot of pace and power, but it was just the technique to really focus and concentrate on getting that right. And he gets the rewards of putting his team in front. They take the lead onside 30 minutes.
Well, the clouds are coming in above us, but it's Conor Ward O'Neill in the goal is still shaking his head there. He actually just didn't realise there was the curl on the ball, and because he didn't put any pace on it, the curl really took effect, and it came in, which I think Ward O'Neill just wasn't expecting at all. And I think we were all a bit shocked. We all thought it was going to go wide, and then suddenly, because he didn't hit it very hard, the curl really did take effect there. Substitution going on below us. I don't know if they're going to put the floodlights on here shortly, because it's starting to get a bit dark out there. Number 12 is coming on, who's Ben Thrower, and number 9 goes off, which is Mr. Safis. Fanushan Safis has gone off, so he's put a lot of work and he's put a lot of effort, and they're obviously giving him a little breather.
Yeah, they probably are.
He has done a lot of running so far, and in fact, and it looks like McCormack. Well, McCormack's also been a central character. Adam McCormack, the number 7 with the bright orange boots out there. He's everything seems to have gone to him, and it's interesting. He's the man who scored. He's the player who scored the goal. Here's Evans. Just not getting any change at the moment, and the trouble is he's got really nobody to play to, has he? Once he does turn with the ball. There's a chase on at the front, and it's all over the place a little bit. Blacon managed to clear. It's not pretty, but it was effective. Oh, that's wonderful play. Tom Finch. Finch has got people in the box. The keeper's in a very strange position there. That could have been awkward had it been this side of the goal. He was anticipating the near post cross.
Tom Finch is the one who's got great awareness of the game going on around him. He's got a great touch. Knows where the space is. Very assured in his play.
Here come Blacon, looking to go long again to Evans. Referee says play on. Now he does decide to. I think Blacon wanted the free kick, and Referee could see the ball was really going nowhere, so decides to give it them. Well, it's getting quite dark out there. The sun is well and truly gone behind some clouds, and well, if we went much longer, I think we might need the floodlights on. Big ball into the box. Evans getting challenged. Head's going in. The referee's going to blow there for a kick. I think that was Evans there, trying to look sort of semi-overhead, but too many people around.
And it's going to be a free kick, technically for
32 minutes on the clock, nearly half time here. We will be having a look at the saves of the tournament. Plus we have one to add from today as well, which will be pinned on the end.
Oh, good work.
Oh, here we go, 1-on-1, and placed wide from the substitutes, Ben Thrower.
Yeah, well wide as well.
Well, he looks up, he doesn't see much of the goal because the goalkeeper again is well out of his goal. He's really narrowing this angle down.
Bit of a shove, but then he wins the ball back again. Gets through. Should have hit the target at least. At least forced the save. Just feel that they haven't really learnt the lesson, Blacon. They're not quite sure whether to squeeze up and stay squeezed up with these balls that are going over the top, causing them a few problems. They've been caught offside. I said it was a dangerous game for them to play, and they only need one opportunity where they stay onside. Greenway. He is. Now, can he use the ball intelligently, or can he go himself?
Great pace, tries to pass it into the far corner. And Tom Finch, very classy player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Good feet. You could see just try to pass that into that far post. Just down the channel, finds himself in acres of space, and it's about that touch there.
Yeah.
He needed one more across the, maybe across the defender. But does well. Unlucky not to score.
Little push there given, free kick to Blacon. I think if you're the Blacon coach coming in, I think you'd take 1-0 based on the passage of play. Like this could be a 2 or 3-0, and you wouldn't really be complaining. So to actually only going 1-0 here is you'd take that, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd certainly take it on the showing of this first half, just the 1 minute coming up for extra time. But at the same time, you'll be thinking, well, how on earth are we going to get back in this game? We've really got to get probably Evans on the ball a little bit more. We've got to push up and support better. We're more satisfied at the back that we can push players into midfield. But yes, you're right. Fundamentally, delighted with the work of your goalkeeper, Conor Ward-O'Neill, who's kept the score down to just the 1. They keep hitting these balls long. It's a little bit aimless.
Yeah.
I think they've got to get it down and have confidence to play a little bit better. That's offside if he were to get it. Sure.
Been quite a change around in the Greenway team actually. McCormack, who was playing out on the right wingers, seems to have gone to a more central defensive, sort of defensive midfield position now, and it's number 12, Ben Thrower, who's out on the right wing. But here comes McCormack in from that defensive midfield. Still sees the opportunity, and in fact well defended there by the captain, Dylan Shard.
It's great defending by Dylan Shard.
Yes,
absolutely superb. He's done that a couple of times, just holding his right knee. A bit sore.
Referee just on a little chat there.
I think that's it for the first half.
Yep, last move of the match. Could well blow as this kick is taken with over the 1 minute. There's a flick on. Referee's kept his flag down. Oh, that must be a goal. Is it onside? It is. And with time up on the clock, it's the second goal. And it's the number 12 for substitute, Ben Thrower, who scores. And Greenway go 2-0 up.
Well, they've just gone to sleep, Blacon. They really have. I think they thought that maybe the play wasn't going to go on. The little flick there from Finch into space. Cormac dragged it across the goal. Shows the importance of hitting it low and hard across the keeper. Ward O'Neill can do nothing about it, and it's put a very different complexion on this game.
Wow.
Big difference between 1-0 and 2-0 as they head towards the tunnel. They'll sit down, really despondent, Blake, and the coach is going to have to pick their heads up, get them to get back in this game. And well, Greenway delighted with getting that second right on the stroke of half-time.
Yes, well, I think if I was a coach for Blacon, I'd be having a little word with the referee. Having put 1 minute up of additional time, we're into well into the second minute, with no stoppages, of course, in that time. And you know, why are you playing a second minute when you've said there's only one? I'd be querying that one. But anyway, focus on the positives. We've seen Greenway put in a superb performance in this first half, fully deserving of that 2-0 lead. It has been pretty much one-way traffic in terms of chances, and Connor Ward O'Neill in the goal for Blacon has been superb. Half-time score 2-0, and let's have a look at the goals, John.
Well, too many times they were just allowing McCormack on the right, Sathis when he was on the pitch, room and time. They drifted offside. Ward O'Neill had done brilliantly in goal, but they couldn't rely on this for the entirety of this first half. And there he is, he cuts inside with a little laugh, because we weren't sure if he was going to have an effort with his left foot. But in the end, it's a brilliant finish, and you've got to give him enormous credit for taking it on, having the confidence. Look at the delight, because there's a little look up there, sees there's not too much on, has another look, cuts inside the defender, and then uses the defender to curl it around in that far post. Keeper puts his head in his hand because he knows he's had a great first half. He's been left exposed often. And here you're absolutely right. We're now 40 seconds into the overtime. And really, the referee should probably have blown up for the end of that first half. Ben Thrower, the substitute, comes on and gets on the end of McCormack's cross-come shot. Pops it away, and disappointment for the Blacon High School boys. They're going to have to work on this in the dressing room. Look at ways they're going to get back into this game. They've got to get forward and support. Leo Evans got to get the intensity up. We know when they score a goal, it makes such a difference. So still in this game, but different complexion on it. That goal coming well over the minute of added time at the first half.
So we've got a little break here, and here's our chance for John to have his second look at our compilation of saves of the tournament. We've pretty much sealed the goal of the tournament, and that will be put up onto social media very shortly after this game is over. Well, now let's have a look at the saves. There's one extra save being added at the bottom, so there's another name to add, which we'll tell you after this. First of all, let's have a look through these superb saves. Oh, what a save that is. What a recovery save. And that, well, he may have fumbled the first attempt, but he made up for it with the second save there.
Yeah, he's redeemed himself there, isn't he, Jeremy Mensah. Fumble, gets to the, bravery. You've got to give him that.
That's super.
To get back to the ball, and then a fantastic follow-up save.
A bit disappointed there. That could be the end of his final. Mike Robinson. Looks like they're changing the formation. Oh, what a save that is! And that's a whip shot there from Aweru from distance, and the keeper managed to get across quickly. I don't know if we see it. This is a great angle to view this.
I think this is save of the tournament so far. I think this is a brilliant save. Aweru here, he's close, he's in, he's got his space. Look at that.
What a save.
I mean, a brilliant save. Very, very good performance. Man of the match.
And Sangu's shot is saved. Keeper saved again. Superb goalkeeping from our reserve goalkeeper here. Dom De Castro Buns, and Nsangu showing he's got a left foot as well as a right. Comes in. He's taking on players for fun. Bang. Great save to start with, and then there's the follow-up.
Yeah, excellent, wasn't it? To pick a player of the match. I mean,
here's McLaughlin. Looking through. Oh, she's gone round another one. What a move this is! Incredible! Saved by the keeper. Chance! Oh, and Framer's put it over. Oh. Unbelievable skills
I mean, it is unbelievable.
Well, I've got to see this again. Look at this play from McLaughlin. She's going around players as if they're static. What a turn inside. And the shot on goal. Great save from the
What
keeper.
a save.
And Framer. Oh my. Coming in with the swinging foot. Ball's gone wide.
Oh,
Here's a chance. This must be a goal. Oh, what a save. What a save. And the referee's going to give a free kick surely for that. He has done. But what a save it was. And the referee, yes, the players are celebrating. The referee. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, the referee is definitely given a free kick. There's no doubt about it.
It's got to be a goal. Unless it's a brilliant save.
Yeah, a win against Kennett School. 9-0. We'll just stop a second here because Whitgift pushing forward. There's a shot from distance, and is that a save? It is. That's a cracking save, and he's pleased about that. Owen Hay. Let's watch this one again.
Sure, he's got a fingertips to it. We'll see it here. Again, they back off, don't get tight enough to him. That's a great save.
Brooke Meyer under 14 Elite Schools Cup. Whitgift again up against KPA School. Here's a chance, here's a chance. Oh, what a save! And what a run and a double save! Well, Alfie Lamb, Owen Haig in the goal for Northampton has just kept his team in this. What a run this is.
Again, it opens up for him. It's the shape at time.
Actually, it probably works to stay. Here's Raymond, unleashes a shot, chance on the edge of the box. Great save from the keeper. Blake's on the edge, hits the post. Great save from Ben McDonald again, keeps his team in this match.
Great goalkeeping, wasn't it? Burst through. You think the shot comes in, defenders get in the way. Good save, and you think he's parried it into the path of Blake.
Oh, there's a nice ball through.
That's run nicely.
Here's Thompson. Thompson releases one. Oh, what a save that is. That was a really high-class save from a goalkeeper. And this is why perhaps Dennis Whittington is the captain of this team, because he's just pulled out a top-class save here. That was going towards the top corner.
That's my shot at the moment. Save of the tournament. Look at this. That is going in the top corner. Great save.
Good run by Salmon. Reed is up with her. It's Reed shooting this time. It's just wide. That's a good save, I think, by Lara Sparrow.
Well, I think this could well be in contention for possibly save of the tournament. That's really make the shortlist. She does well. I mean, you've got to give credit to Sheeran. She sticks at it. And that's fantastic. Lets it run across her body, and look at that for a save. Absolutely brilliant from Lara Sparrow.
Cholton. Good value for this lead.
Hodnett with the corner. In towards Sangura. Turned away as far as Broom, and it's a good start ball. What an opportunity.
Well, what a fantastic save that was from Phillips in that final game. Vikar Sholton. Some superb saves. It makes life difficult for me to try and pick a 1, 2, 3 from that list. Oh, really, really impressive. Mensah with 2 saves in there. Haig with 2 saves in there. De Castro Bunce, that was a great save, wasn't it? McDonald, I like that. Whittington, I mean, we really have seen a fantastic 3 days of football here. Football of the highest quality. And those goalkeepers there deserve enormous credit for the work that they put in, keeping their teams within games. Very awkward to pick my favourites from there. The teams are just coming back out here for the second half. The score at 2-0 with that Ben Thrower goal right on the stroke of half time. It is getting really quite dark
Just looking at the screen and then looking down at the pitch. It's chilly up in the top of the stands up here. What can Blacon High do here? Have they got it in them to get back in this match? 35 minutes to turn it around. Substitute being made. Sam Rigby, it's been confirmed to come on the pitch.
So a substitution taking place. Number 13 is on, who looks even taller than number 10. A tall lot from Blacon. Number 13 is Sam Rigby, and number 11, Harvey Nicholson, has gone off. So now we've got Greenway. We've got 2 tall players to deal with up front for Blacon. So how do you feel about the save of the tournament, John? You got your 1, 2, 3, do you think?
Not far off, I tell you.
Close.
There's some brilliant saves, yeah, but pretty sure on my decisions.
Please give them a huge boost of morale.
Well, after the end of this match, we'll review the goals, and we will just get your 1, 2 and 3 and the reasoning behind them at the end of this game, unless there is something exceptional happens in the final 35 minutes here. And then we'll put that into a nice little video that will be going out tonight for everybody to watch, just as we did last year. So our cameramen have turned up their cameras a little bit. It hasn't got brighter out there. It is quite dark, really. And thanks to the magic of all these cameras, they can turn up their irises and make it look a lot brighter than it actually is, which they're doing very well out there. Very good cameras they've got. Against Blacon going for the big ball again up front. Number 9, Gerard Imond, who's stayed down under that challenge. The referee is looking in at not happy at all. Just twisted his ankle by the looks of it. One of those nasty ones.
Yeah, he's in some pain. Let's hope he gets up and is okay to run it off. Really is in some discomfort.
Yes, not feeling good there. Blacon, nice little throw there into a bit of space of Stark Rigby. Well, that second goal at the death at the end of the first half was, you feel may have deflated Blacon. It's a tough changing room when you've just conceded a goal right on half time. Blacon need to come out and do something quickly here. Really, Thomas Harrison. I don't think Blacon really had a serious shot on goal in that first half, I don't think. Managed to, there's a couple of loose balls, and McCormack is back out on the right wing where he really caused a lot of damage. Great pace from Dylan Chard, the captain. Superb pace from Dylan Chard, and well, Adam McCormack, who caused all sorts of problems for Blacon in the first half, back out on the right wing. He's had his little rest. He went to defensive midfield for 10 minutes at the end of the first, had a break, and now he's back there again. And here he goes, normal service.
Ooh, it's a killer ball. Yeah. Finch back in, he gets another chance offside. But Dylan Chard, superb work, conceded the corner, but snuffed out the danger that McCormack posed. Such pace he's got.
And so does Dylan Chard as well. I think I wasn't expecting McCormack to be outpaced there on that wing, but Chard did excellent work there. Miscontrol from number 4, Lewis Hopley.
Up here back in the commentary booth, we're probably the best seat in the house. Next to our man, Mr. Nathan Black, the oracle, the proverbial human dictionary of football.
We've had quite a few celeb footballers around. We had Steph Houghton, the England women's player was here again on day one, and just talking to a few people down at VIP area, she absolutely loved the two girls' games that took place on day one.
Oh, spoilt, weren't we?
Loving
with
them,
the quality
absolutely.
of that.
Yeah.
She's a great girl, Steph. She's supported us, PlayStation Schools Cup, and English schools football many times.
Yeah, what a great role model for the girls to,
Yeah,
to
she
follow.
really is.
Good play here. That's Tom Dean. Sorry, excuse me, Ben Thrower there for Greenway. Throwing his weight around for sure. Score of first goal. Greenway keeping the possession. McCormack. And Ward O'Neill does well. Takes that early on the bounce. Thomas Harrison. Again,
good work.
Longer ball, but this time on the ground. And Blacon. And well, Sam Rigby trying to go the long way round. Just never had a good touch on the ball there to help him out.
Emery, Coach Atch, doing a brilliant job.
Will Blair, captain for Greenway on the left wing. Probably the smallest player on the pitch.
Yeah.
But a good influence here in this left midfield position. Heavy challenge, and the referee's let go. Coaches, Greenway coaches and Blacon coaches both very vocal with their teams, really encouraging of their forward line. Again, Blacon go for the longer ball. Here's Rigby. Seems to be Rigby who's getting the long balls at the moment, but at least Blacon have decided they're going to go for the two tall men up front for these longer balls. Here's Blair. Great pace from Blair. Ward O'Neill's out. And again, the keeper, sharpness off the line, cutting down the angles, really didn't give Blair an option.
No, brilliant again. And there was McCormack just hovering in the penalty area on the penalty spot. This ball got through. There he was, just to slot the side to the back of the net. And get a third goal, which may well have killed off this Blacon fight back.
Zach Janager is off and James Wright is on. Here's McCormack. Lovely little interplay. Oh, that's a great ball from Ross Gardner down the line. And there's the ball across. Back post. Surely he must score. Off the post. McCormack's in the middle. Is that offside? Ball's free. McCormack scores. It's 3-0. Well, we had a bit of pinball football there for a while, but eventually it's Adam McCormack who puts the ball ahead, and we have a mass team dance there. Don't know where that's come from. There's a few players struggling injury-wise, I think, but it looks like they're okay. They're on their feet. But
Well,
Greenway 3-0.
Yeah, it was all about Tom Finch putting that ball in early. Goalkeeper comes out. He's trying to be the sweeper as well as the goalkeeper. Comes back to him off the post. And, of course, nobody's there in the middle of the pitch to clean things up, tidy them up. It's a bit of a scramble. And in the end, McCormack bundles it over for the third goal. And I said a couple of minutes ago, if they had scored the third, maybe that is curtains for this Blacon possibility of a fight back.
Yes, you feel that that's probably sealed this final for Greenway. Looks like a substitution taking place below us. Charlie Crook is coming on for Greenway. We'll have a look at this goal here.
Yes, the first one hits the post, comes back to him. Here you can see McCormack standing all on his own. It almost looked like they missed the chance because he'd played the ball where you felt that Blacon were going to be able to retrieve the situation and clear the danger. McCormack was a little bit fortunate. Oh dear. Oh, they've got to score and score soon if they want to get back in this game.
Yeah.
We have seen on a couple of occasions how these games really do change in an instant.
I think that was Ross Gardner who came off, the number 2.
Will Blair away again. Ward O'Neill covering the danger.
Blacon, can they try and get a consolation goal here? Referee's blown for a little pull. Greenway coaches very animated there on the edge of their dugouts. Greenway go for the long ball this time, and well, that's straight through on goal, and that is too easy. Ben Thrower, and well, they just threw in something a little bit different there and played Blacon at their own game as the celebration again, whatever that means. And well, I think the whole defence had pushed up a little bit. They're expecting the ball into feet, and obviously that was seen. And well, there you go. Let's go over the top. Let's try one over, and well, throw up. And
yeah, just switched off.
Yeah, and you feel that Blacon have sort of just dropped now, and they've realised that this game's out of reach, and
that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get punished. They're living right on the edge. You can see again how Greenway, they've just been able to gamble now, and they've got the 3 up front. They can push them on, feel confident that they could concede 1 goal and it may not affect them too severely. They got the numbers back as well, sort of defence and attack, and they're not having to work as hard in midfield to get back and protect the back 4. The short ball played there, out of his feet. Long ball up from Charlie Crook. And there it is, dispatched by Ben Thrower.
Leo Evans put a lot of work in there. Here's McCormack again, and it looks like, well, the floodgates could be opening here. Offside given, not sure about that, but you feel that, yeah, the floodgates could well open here now. There's still plenty of time to play, and Greenway have got this one in the bag, and Blacon could well just give up the ghost, which sometimes does happen in these finals. Disappointment of just coming up against a team that are too good. Cormac, lovely little 1-2. Number 14, a substitute. Charlie Crook, straight swap at right back.
Well, when you get into this position, you sort of enjoy the game, don't you, so much. It's got to go back to the keeper. Yeah, retrieves it well. Yeah, but you're enjoying your football so much. Everything you do seems to come off. Every decision you make is the right one. You get the luck. The ball seems to come to you. It's just the way the game goes sometimes. But they've earned the right to find themselves in this position. This little fella's done brilliantly.
Will Blair, yeah.
Comes out second best on this occasion. The ball goes forward. They're a bit all over the place at the back. It doesn't really matter for Greenway. Anywhere will do. It may well work in their favour.
Yeah, nicely done there by Harry Shannon. Ward O'Neill looking for options. Game just spacing out a little bit on this pitch. Both defences not really pushing up too tightly. And Leo Evans, who's just battled so much, and he's found a player on the edge of the box, and the referee will give handball there as he controlled it with his arms. I was wondering whether we were going to see a whistle there. It's the body language of somebody who's not very happy. There we go. So number 9 is coming on, and number 10 for Greenway is off. So Sam Lynn exits, and Fanushan Satiz is back on, having had a very energetic first 20 minutes on the pitch. And number 14 is on for Blacon. Riley Ashford-Paul, and it's number 10, Leo Evans, who's worked very, very hard up front all on his own. And in fact, that wasn't number 10. No, I think it was number 3, actually, yeah. Harry Shannon has come off. In fact, they've gone to 3 at the back, it looks like, Blacon. They've dropped a defender.
Good goalkeeping.
So the left back has gone off, and it looks like they've put an extra man into midfield, which could be a risky move, considering how Greenway are so threatening on the attack. We will see. Satiz Greenway have got plenty of men just in and around the box there. Blacon looks to play in Evans. Again, it's this is where sometimes just playing the big ball up front isn't always the best option. Giving away possession 9 times out of 10, it seems. Well, there's a very direct ball, and Evans does well to get on the end of that one. Substitute Rigby. They win the throw.
Yeah, Henry Kokach equal to pretty much everything that's been thrown that way. Excellent defending again, read the situation well. Up for the physical challenge.
John, this is a very opportune time to ask you about this. You know, this tactic, which is interesting. You know, nothing like a good long ball. You know, if you can play it accurately, etc. You'd have been a man who'd have been asked to play good long balls into particular places. And you know, is it a question that you're looking for? You know, I don't know. Did you play with Fashion when Fashanu was there? And you're looking for Fashanu, but then Fashanu has to have people off him that he can pass, that he can drop it to. Him on his own is no good, is it?
No, I mean, I was just reading the other day when I was thinking about what I was going to say at this AFC Wimbledon meeting that we had, and some words they wanted me to speak about, and you know, just reading back about Harry Bassett and what he did with the way he analysed the game, the direct style that he employed, and then Bobby Gould took on as well. It was just how advanced it was and how structured it was. Arrigo Sacchi was doing it, I think, with AC Milan at the time. And you know, when you play that direct ball, it's not just a lump up front, it's actually a long pass.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get back in and support it. You've got the players who work off it. And you know, it's the tactic, if done well, is incredibly effective.
Yeah.
And it can be a thing of beauty if it's played properly and well, and not just lumped up for the sake of it to a big man and a big battle. And I think that's where people get the wrong idea.
And is this where, you know, without criticising Blacon here in this situation, you know, they're playing a tactic. They're a very young team, but this is an example where it's being played to the big man, but he, you know, he's not winning all the balls to start with, and then the ones he does win, he doesn't get off to anybody else. So they're generally losing. They're just giving the ball away generally.
Yeah, and that's where it doesn't work in your favour. When you're up against a team, you've got to have a plan B. You've got to have the players who can adapt. Well, they're through again.
Oh, this is a great ball through, and here's Will Blair, the captain, and just passes it into an empty goal. And it's goal number 5 as Will Blair slides to the empty seats in the far corner in front of the big screen. And Greenway, well, there's cheers and hugs in the supporters area here. 5-0, and well, this is just too easy. There is no defence. The defence are caught napping, and
yeah, I feel sorry for Connor Ward-O'Neill in goal. I really do. You know, the back three have almost sort of given up to a certain degree. You can have some sympathy with them as well.
And it is now a back three. They've lost a man. There is only 3 at the back. They're desperately wanting to score a goal.
Yeah, it's not easy for them. You know the game's lost. You've got to go forward and look for a somehow consolation or get back in the game somehow.
Oh, look at the pace here. This is great pace from Tom Finch. And round the outside, 2 Greenway players coming into. The ball just went past them as they were coming in to take the rebound.
Well, of course, you're not tired. You're not tired when you're winning 5-0, are you? You've got as much energy as you want. You can run all day long. He just got caught on the back of the heel there.
Yeah. Substitution going on below us. Kieran Ord is coming on. And off is, I think it's number 5. Is it Lewis Ball who's coming off there? Yes, it is. And there you see, he's not a happy man, but the coach is saying, look, don't worry, be proud of yourself. Lovely, lovely shot there. Here's a shot from distance. I think Ward O'Neill, another unorthodox way of collecting the ball. But the interesting thing, you know, Johnny, is that is exactly the point. You know, the ball is, it's not just the big hoof. and just hope. There's actually a valid tactic in there. And, you know, would you have a plan B if things weren't working with Fashanu? If Fashanu was getting dominated in the air, and all the big balls were just not happening, you know, would you actually then say, well, look, we've got to do something different. We've got to play to a different line or play it short.
Yeah, I guess so. I felt, you know,
Didn't happen very often, did it?
It didn't happen often, but you know, when it had to, we'd have some subtlety in there with the likes of Dennis Wise and one or two other players. And they're through again. They're playing such a high line that it's very difficult. Sathis got that one away. Well, it's always the danger, isn't it, when you're pushing up and you leave it so vulnerable at the back. It's not nice for the defenders because they're, you know, I've been in that situation where you're chasing a game, you're really exposed at the back.
Yeah.
You know the game's gone and beyond you, and it's very, very difficult. But Sathis takes that one well. So yeah, the plan B, yes, we'd always sort of want to dominate the game, always want to be on the front foot, always be aggressive.
Yeah.
And that was plan A. Plan B was really to sort of, I suppose, up the ante a bit more.
Yes. Well, this is a children's festival, so we probably won't go further into that. I just noticed that Leo Evans has been asked to drop back. But here's another one, Will Blair. And it is almost scoring at will at the moment, you feel, with Greenway. Leo Evans has dropped back to a defensive midfield position, and I think Blacon are just going to try and just keep the goals down a bit. Maybe you felt when they made the previous substitution and dropped a man out of defence. 10 and 7 is the change around here. So number 7, Adam McCormack, has had a good match. You're going to miss those lovely orange boots.
Yeah, he's had a great game.
And
really
coming on,
superb.
Number 10, Sam Lynn re-enters the arena. Rolling substitutes, of course, as we've had all week here. And yeah, just a shame really that this game is finished. Probably the first match we've had here where you felt there has been a big difference between the two teams, and Blacon, you know, we don't know the history. They could be missing a couple of players as well. You know, there's a lot of reasons why things just don't work out on the day.
Yeah, you're never sure. I mean, we had one on the first day, didn't we? Wright Robinson, when they beat Shenfield in the under-12s. I think it was 7.
Yeah. Attempt from Will Blair. Well, a lot of good players out there, and it is going to be a PlayStation 4 heading possibly towards Greenway. I don't actually know where Greenway's based from. It's very remiss of me to not know which area they're from. But it's going to head up to North Hertfordshire, so not too far around the M25, up towards the Stevenage way, on the way up to Cambridgeshire. Leo Evans has crept back up front again, so he's given up his defensive duties that he was asked to do, and he's decided he wants to play up front and try and bag a goal here at the Medeski Stadium. Here's Sam Rigby. That didn't go well. Well, it may be a little bit of a flat finish here, but we have had 3 absolutely superb days, and some of the matches have just been so special. And well, that highlights video, if you get a chance to see it a little bit later on, it will be released on social media channels. It's something special on the goals and the saves of the tournament.
And here we are, back with the football.
Another substitute going to happen below us for Blake, and Kieran Ord is coming back on. So he's obviously sneaked off at some stage, because he was coming on he came on just like a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
What's he doing off again? Well, I don't know what they're doing there. I think it's number 8 coming off. So Jaden Stark Rigby for Blacon, and Kieran Ord is on. So I couldn't have got the teams the wrong way around, because Greenway don't actually have a 16. They only have 3 subs on their bench. And there you go. On and off quickly. Well, we've had a great few months of ESFA football. It was we had various finals held at Stoke City, Bet365 Stadium. Lots of action there. We're at the Rico Arena just last week for the Danone event. And of course the Centenary Shield, we did a bit of travelling covering a number of matches live on Free Sports. Wasn't such a good season this year for England. They actually finished bottom of the group, which has been a long time. Perennial winners of the competition England have been, but not this season. The Republic of Ireland took that honour. There's cheers from Blacon below as you can hear the crowd willing them on to get a goal. That's all they want. Just give us a goal. Header from Dan Wild. Jack Swindley plays it in. Nice bit of football here. Oh, one good touch from Leo Evans. He felt that a good touch there and he could have been in on goal. Yeah. Just miscontrolled at the most inappropriate time for him.
Disappointing for Leo Evans there. Would love to have got that under control. Got a consolation goal at least. If not more out of this match.
So we, as this match draws to a close, just 10 minutes to go. There is a man in a match here to think about. A few players, another change down below us. Leo Evans has come to the coaches. I think he's getting a little bit frustrated out there, wanting to know what to do. I think he's maybe even asking to be substituted. I'm not sure. The MC just mentioned something. I think he overheard the conversation. Here's the big ball in. Here's a half chance. Ball just doesn't break for Blacon, which just about sums up their day, really.
Yeah, it really does. I was just thinking that.
Nothing's fallen for them at all, not even a half chance. And, well, fair enough. Have a pop from there from Jaden Stark Rigby. So a big match on Saturday, John, for your former team, Liverpool. Do you have a Liverpool hotline where former players get tickets and things like that? You must do. They look after their old players,
Maybe.
don't they?
They look after their players like a few other clubs. I think we've just got a great former players group of us.
Yeah.
I feel so privileged to be one of those former players and able to go back up there, and the club is so friendly, welcoming. Incredible season.
Yeah.
Hit the dizzying heights to be in the Champions League final this weekend. Always made welcome there.
That must be a lovely feeling to go back up to the club and, you know, they always remember.
It is remarkable, actually. And, you know, I wasn't there that long, 2.5 years, 3 years, but yeah, always made to feel incredibly welcome. And it's just the generations, we all get on really well, whether it's the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Yeah. Everybody sort of, once you're a Liverpool player, you feel very much part of a very unique little group of people that players come together every now and again. It's not often, but when it is, it's great. And what a game that's going to be at the weekend.
There's a lot of Scouse humour there as well. I met Phil Thompson last week. He's a very funny character, and on commentary he's hilarious. You know, sometimes you see the grouchy side of him a little bit on Sky Sports on the Soccer Saturday, and you know, he's quite opinionated. But when he's on the co-commentary, as he was on last week on a job I did, and you know, he was cracking line after line, and you know, he was comparing players. And he said, "Oh, he looks like Jan Molby there with you know, a nice tight shirt he's got on." And, you know, he would constantly comparing players with people that, you know, he used to play with, and very funny guy. But
Jan Molby and Neil Ruddock. I think somebody had to change one of their shirts earlier on in the matches here.
Yeah.
Those two often needed the extra large, should we say? Special delivery.
Yes, those tight shorts that Jan Molby used to have to wear. Well, you sense that Greneway have just taken the foot off the pedal a little bit here, and in a way, sort of nice to see a little bit of respect out there. And of course, Liverpool do have a big final on Saturday, which will be fascinating to see up against Real Madrid. And Gareth Bale, will he play? Is he still injured? There's always talk about him potentially leaving. Real Madrid have sort of lost a will with him, and his
Not quite sure why.
games. Yeah, when he plays, he's unbelievable, isn't he?
Phenomenal record, and what a finish to the season he had as well.
Yeah.
Ronaldo was missing for a few games. Bale comes in, scores, I mean, at least 4 goals, didn't he, in that last
Yeah.
few weeks, maybe more.
Yeah.
What a player, and I don't know what they're going to do. But they're always looking to freshen things up, always want to sign the next sort of Galactico, you know, and talk about some moves that they're going to make. Here's on the break again. Oh,
Tries to chip, just over. I heard a very interesting comment from Phil Neville. Actually said that he felt that the Premier League football teams now really it was very difficult for them to win the Champions League, because in Spain or in France, Paris Saint-Germain's a great example. They literally put a reserve team out for some of their matches when they have a big Champions League match. And you know, Spain, obviously they have a few more teams in and around the top, but even sort of below halfway in La Liga, there's a feeling that those games are a lot easier for the top clubs. Whereas in the Premier League, you do have every game you're coming up against world stars, even in the teams that are, you know, getting defeated and relegated, like Shaqiri at Stoke, and you know, some of these budgets.
yes, to a point. I think the gap has been that little bit bigger this season for me in the Premier League, where the sort of bottom half of the table hasn't quite given the top half of the table quite the shocks that we've seen before. And a few of those players at those clubs are on great salaries and pull their weight as much as maybe they could have done, but
yes, I think Jack Butland went public, didn't he? Some of the players that
critical,
came in,
wasn't
and
he?
came
That's
in
the
on big
that's
salaries.
down to the club. That's the recruitment policy, as much as the as well as the attitude of some of those players. That's what irks with, I think, fans more than the big salaries that the big players do. It's all about delivery. If they're delivering, it's great. But we'll talk about Gareth Bale. We'll talk about Neymar possibly going to Madrid, and got to make some room for him, haven't they? If he did, who knows?
It's an
mad,
incredible
crazy
world,
world.
and of course Manchester United have now become one of those teams that seem to be very happy to open the checkbook out and just sign in the big player and break the records. We have more substitutions, just rolling subs going on all around. I think they're giving up on the boards. Number 3 looks like he's coming on for Blacon, Harry Shannon, and a long walk from. Yes, they're just going to go for it. It doesn't matter. Just get him off. Yes, I think we got a little bit too formal here. Here's Safi's looking. Goalkeeper's well out again, and Safi's looks up and maybe had a little hesitation. Thought, well, do I go for the chip?
He's done really, really well, Dylan Chard. He's stuck at his task very, very well. I think he's been excellent. One of the outstanding players. There's been a few others, but my man of the match, I think I'm going to go to a player I think's had a really great influence on this game. He hasn't got on the score sheet.
I think he's on the bench, isn't he? Yeah, he's just had a high five with his coach there.
Good boy, Tom Finch. There he is. Well done. Yeah.
Good to see the dabs in there. That's a nice strike there from number 4.
I think he's had a fantastic game. I mean, 2 goals for McCormack. He's running close. He's had a superb game. He's back on the pitch. Blair has done brilliantly. He was just about to score. There's McCormack, is it?
Well, final few minutes of this match, which probably finished as a contest 25 minutes ago, to be honest. Still a fair bit of work for the crew here to do, packing away, get back to bed at about 1 in the morning. It's always so. It's always one of the things I think you know, a lot of people don't realise with footballers as well. When you play a night match and the adrenaline and everything, you know, you go home, you don't get to sleep until 4 or 5, do you? The heart's still pumping and the mind's still going, and it's one of the things that another substitution. Yeah, they're just rolling around subs. So
Yeah.
Evans is off, and yeah, they're giving up on the board here. The 4th official wants to go home. He's tired. He's been doing that line all day.
Well, it's freezing up here as well, isn't it? The temperature's really dropped in the last hour.
Yeah.
It's been great to work with the whole team here on the production side of things, as ever. Camera guys have done a superb job. Callum behind the scenes. Pleasure to work with you, Adrian, as ever, and down seeing all the familiar faces from the English Schools FA. Know them well. PlayStation, Circle, the agency, HPS, Jardine, the PR, and I mean, it just all and everybody coming together and making this PlayStation Schools Cup just the most wonderful football festival. Huge thanks to Reading Football Club and the Medeski Stadium, their wonderful home, for making us so welcome.
This is good pace here on the outside. Sam Lynn. Yeah, it's one of our favourite events. Got to be honest, we all love a bit of football. We all really love covering national schools events across many sports. We do them in a lot. We have rowing coming up tomorrow at Dorney Lake, which just up the road. Yeah, so we've got a big crew going out there, and it's always great. We've covered national schools rugby for the past 10 years with England rugby, and you know, we're all sports freaks, but it's lovely to see a bit of football and see some of the stars as the referee blows the whistle. No added time, and a comprehensive victory for Greneway School here. And there's Tom Finch, the man of the match, just walking out. There's a few bed heads hanging low, but well-deserved victory. And once they annulled the Blacon big ball tactic that has obviously worked so well for them in getting here, then it was just a question of how many goals they were going to end up scoring. Great win, a great performance from Greneway, thoroughly deserved. And there you go, boys, give us a wave.
Well done. Oh, fully deserved, brilliant play. Some superb performances, but most of all collectively they just were a very, very good side.
Well, we're not going to look through the goals. There's been a lot of them, and I think we're actually going to go to the graphic. There's the final score, 6-0. We're actually going to go to the graphic, and John, this is your final deed for today. Let's have a little look, and please give us your 3-2-1. Let's build a bit of tension up. 3-2-1 for your goal of the tournament.
Okay, number 3. I'm going for number 8, the 8th goal, Rodriguez. Superb skill from him.
That was a wonderful goal, I totally agree.
2, it was a toss-up who was going to get number 1, but Abu, it was Montgomery, the left back, who darted inside. They'd been patient. He went on a fantastic mazy run, ended up passing it into midfield. Abu was released, skipped past the defender and buried the ball. Lovely team goal. Brilliant team effort. Some wonderful passes. It was just the defending was poor, so I thought, well, that's worthy of a runners-up. And the goal of the tournament, I'm going for Myers. Thought it was an outstanding goal. It was just the way that he had such composure. When he went past one player, 2 players, he shifted the ball from his right to his left, back in. And I think just, in my mind, the way that he just curled it into the far corner was just an unbelievable example of somebody who's comfortable taking the ball from left to right, has had the balance, and he had such an influence on the game. So for me, Brooke Myers, goal of the tournament.
Well, congratulations, Brooke Myers. I actually thoroughly agree with that. Well done, John. I'm with you on that one. I think let's now. So now those are the saves of the tournament we've just seen, and here we go, the list, and it's over to Mr. John Scales to give us. And of course there is a number 11 on that list as well, but John, you to give us the 3-2-1, please.
Well, the 3-2-1, I mean, very, very difficult. I mean, as tougher thing to try and judge as I've had to do. But for me, Mensah, there, 2 saves. His second one in this list, I think, was superb. Full stretch. Could equally have been considered for save of the match tournament. At full stretch, up to his right, tipped it round the post. Absolutely brilliant. Runner-up for me was Dennis Whittington. Absolutely brilliant. Tip round the post. Superb save. My save of the tournament, well, it goes to Ben McDonald. First save, brilliant. But it was the way that got up and saved it with the feet on the second attempt as well. I thought for a goalkeeper who has that agility to pull off that brilliant save, strong hand, force it away, and then to suddenly on the rebound to be able to get up and deflect it away, to have the composure in goal, save his team. Thought that is worthy winner of save of the tournament as well. So well done to Dennis Whittington.
Congratulations. As we see the presentation here for the final match. So John, until we meet again, probably in a year's time, and hope everything goes well for you Saturday. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, well, it's been a wonderful pleasure working with everybody here, and thank you to all those watching at home, at school, wherever you are. Thanks to all the officials there, they've been great, haven't they? And yeah, look forward to seeing you again next year.
Okay, thank you very much, John Scales, and great judge there on the man of the match and all the man of the matches, and I think he did well this year. I think we had lots of good decisions, and yes, the 3-2-1s and the goals and saves all be on our social media very, very shortly. There's the man of the match, Tom Finch, fully deserved. There you go. We're certainly going to see seeing some stars of the future here. We're going to head down and speak to the coach for Greenway. And many thanks to John Scales again, who's heads off into the night. We'll lots of matches which, of course, all now becoming history. They'll be on our YouTube channel. Tens of thousands will watch it. Amazing seeing the numbers of people watching the videos from previous years, which has happened over the past few years. And well, there's a few glum faces there, a few stone faces, but they've got to realise they've just rolled into a real classy team of Greenway. And yeah, you know, there's 600 odd teams entered this competition, and to be runners-up, I just remember one of my old managers saying when we won a trophy, there's a lot of net negatives, there's a lot of people defeat. You know, you enter a competition, there's 602 teams have not even made it through to the final, so you've got to be well chuffed that you've made it this far.
Player 7, Thomas Harrison. Player 8, Jaden Stark-Rigby. Number 9, Gerard Amon. Player 10, Leo Evans. Player 11, Harvey Nicholson. In 12, Tom Dean. Player 13, Sam Rigby. Player 14, Riley Ashford-Paul. 15, Dan Wild. 16, Kieran Ord. And injured, James Dudley. And a shout out to team management, Mr. Forbes, Mr. Sabri, and Mr. Cairns. A round of applause for the runners-up of the 2018 PlayStation Schools Cup Final.
Very well done. One final time to Blacon. And now, your champions and winners. I said it before, let's make some noise for the boys and have some clap for the chaps. It's your champions, Greenway!
Your goalkeeper in number 1, Mr. Alex Moss. Player 2, Ross Gardner. In 3, Zach Judah. In for Archie Massman Brown. Player 5, Emery Kogak. Player 5, Rory Rees. In 7, Adam McCormick. Your man of the match, number 8, Tom Finch.
You got reverb.
Number 9, Vanushan Satiz. Number 10, Sam Lynn. Number 12, Ben Thrower. In 13, James Wright. 14, Charlie Crook. And your captain, in 11, Mr. Will Blair.
It's celebration time here in Reading. They're going to have a quick photo, then we're going to get this box out of the way. Get your camera phones at the ready.
And of course, team management, Rob Dowler and Mr. Glendon Crook. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the 2018 Under 13 PlayStation Gold Cup Champions. Once again, what a huge accolade for both teams. Winners in their own right, getting to play here at the Macy Stadium. Huge congratulations to both.
So with me is Rob Dowler, the manager of this amazing team you've got here. What a bunch of lads you've got.
Yeah, they've been working really hard together, made great progress with their years together, and performance like that to finish their time together has been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it was noticeable they've scored a lot of goals. They don't concede many goals, and exactly the same thing happened here today. They really kept true to their form.
Yeah, that's a credit to them and the hard work that they put in to stay organised as a team and work hard for each other.
Yeah. You must be absolutely thrilled. It's the end of a long season. A lot of goals have been scored. Where do you go from here? You've got a good bunch of lads. You're going to stay with them next year?
Slightly different situation where we are with the schooling, because this is their last year actually at our school as a middle school. But I'm sure all the boys will carry on enjoying their football and hopefully, if they can, get to another couple of occasions like this.
Yeah. Well, we'll look out for some of the names under maybe different schools. Which schools will they go to primarily in your area?
Meridian School is the main school that we feed into, and then we hope they'll continue their success with them.
Well, I've got to say, what a way to finish with a major trophy, a big win at a professional ground like Reading. You know, it must be quite emotional to finish like this on a high.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic occasion for them, and I'm sure there's many memories they've made today that they'll hold with them for a long, long time.
Absolutely. Well, guys, well done. Congratulations. In you come! Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Greenway team here today. What a performance! Cal, tell me when I'm on. No, anybody replying? Well, there we go. We're finished. We're over. The lads have done a lap of honour around the empty Medeski Stadium here. We've had 3 days of absolutely superb football through all the different age groups. We've seen some absolutely cracking matches, and it's been great to have John Scales with us, and also we had Mr. Clive Tilsley come in and do a few games. We're going to head off into the night. This is 2018. It's all over. We're going to do it all again next year, no doubt. But for now, my name is Adrian Battersby, on behalf of the whole crew here at 24/7 TV. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye for now.